Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 1 Review. Remember to show your work whenever possible and to circle your final answer. All right, number 1, given the function f of x equals negative 8x plus 11, find the value of f of 5 over 4. So remember, this is the x. So we need to plug in and simplify. Okay, so we would say f of 5 over 4 equals negative 8 times 5 over 4 plus 11. Now, if you don't know what negative 8 times 5 over 4 is, you should be taking out your calculator, and here we go. So negative 8 times, in parentheses, 5 divided by 4, and we get negative 10. So we have negative 10 plus 11, and hopefully everybody knows what negative 10 plus 11 is. So we're going to have our final answer of f of 5 over 4 equals 1. And that is my final answer in function notation. Okay, number 2. Write an equation in point slope form of the line that has a slope of 3 over 2 and a point of negative 6, 4. So I know the point, I know the slope, so I plug it into point slope. My slope is 3 over 2, and then my y is 4, and my x is negative 6, which turns that to plus 6. And then just like all the other ones, guys, to solve, we need to distribute. So we have y minus 4 equals 3 over 2x plus, in parentheses, 3, oh, not 3 times, 3 divided by 2 times 6, and we get 9. And then solve for y. So we add 5 to both sides, and we get y equals 3 over 2x plus 14. All right, letter number 3. Which of the following represents the line of the that is graphed? Circle, answer all answers that apply. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to figure out what my y-intercept is, and then my slope. I go down 1, 2, we go down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means my slope is negative 2 over 5. If I wrote that out, it would be y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 3. Okay? So I'm looking for all equations that'll end up as y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 3, or look like E. Okay, so letter A. I'm interested in this because my slope looks good right away, so I'm going to distribute. I'm going to put A over here. Y minus 5 equals negative 2 over 5x minus 2. Because negative 2/5 times 5 is 2. And then we're going to add 5 to both sides. And I get y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 3. Yay! Isn't that what we wanted? Why aren't you more happy? Okay. B, right away I'm going to cross out because no, that's not the right slope. Okay. C, I have the right slope. So I'm going to distribute, and we're going to see what happens. So we get y plus 5 equals negative 2 over 5x plus 2 this time. And now we would subtract the 5 to both sides. Y equals negative 2 over 5x. Oh, minus 3. Yeah, sorry, it's not minus 3. Okay. D. So D is promising because it's got the same slope. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So I have y minus 1 equals negative 2 over 5x. And this is going to be plus 2. And then to get the y by itself, I add 1 to both sides. And we get y equals negative 2 over 5x. Yay, plus 3. Ding, 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 ding. That's what we wanted. Okay, and the last one, right away. My slope's different. All right, 4. Find the value of f of negative 3 if f of x equals x squared minus 7x plus 8. Okay, so once again, we need to plug in and simplify. All right, so f of negative 3 equals, remember to put that in parentheses. Put that negative 3 in parentheses because this is our biggest mistake right here. Negative 3 squared, negative times the negative is a positive 9. Because we're simplifying, we're following SADMAP. And then I need to multiply. Negative 7 times negative 3 is a positive 21. Okay, you can add those all together or do it just a little bit at a time. I get 30. And then 30 plus 8 is 38. So 38 is my answer. If we're writing it in function notation, we would say f of negative 3 equals 38. All right, number 5. Graph y plus 2 equals 4/5 x minus 5. Now, before I can graph it, it needs to be in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to distribute to get y plus 2 equals 4/5 x minus 4. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 2 to both sides and get y equals 4/5 x minus 6. So I know my slope is 4 over 5, up 4, to the right 5, and my y-intercept is 0, negative 6. So negative 6 is where I start. I go up 4 over 5, up 4 over 5, and I go in both directions. I've got my line, and now I'm going to use my straight edge to graph. And there we go. All right, number 6. Write an equation of the slope-intercept form that passes through -1, 7 and 4, -3. Now, don't be lazy, okay? Most people are like, well, I know right away that I need to find my slope. So I can find my slope and then I'm done, right? No, because you have to write the full equation. So we have -3 minus 7 on the top. On the bottom we have 4, and that's 4 plus 1. So on the top, -3 minus 7 is -10. 4 plus 1 is 5, and I can actually reduce that to -2. Okay, so I need to take that slope now and then plug it into point slope. So I know that this is -2. You can use either point. I picked 4, -3 when I was doing this. So that changes to a +3 and to -4. Okay. The left side stays the same. And as I'm distributing it, that's -2x plus 8. And then to solve for y, we subtract 3 to both sides. And I get that y equals negative 2x plus 5. All right, number 7. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through negative 12, 5, and keyword perpendicular to negative 4. Okay, so I'm already looking at my slope, right? My current slope is negative 4 over 1. I want the opposite and reciprocal of that. So currently it's positive or negative, so it's going to be positive, and then I flip. So now that I've stolen my slope, now I can go into point slope to figure out what my equation is. Okay, I've got 1/4, 5, and then this turns to plus 12. Okay, so my left side stays the same. As I'm distributing, that's 1/4 x. 1/4 times 12, well, 1 times 12 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? Did I do that right? 1/4 times 12, 3. Good. Okay. And then add the 5 to both sides. We get y equals 1/4 x plus 8. All right, go ahead and flip it over. Okay, so a rental car company charges a flat fee to rent a car plus 10 cents per mile driven. Roberto drove 225 miles and charged a total of $82.50. So as we're looking at this, we need to know that x, the thing that changes, is our miles, and that our y-intercept, our y is going to be the cost. Okay, it's going to be how much money it is. So if I'm looking at, they gave me 3 numbers. So when they gave me 3 numbers, one of those has to be the slope because of the word per, and the other one is a point. Okay, and that's my x and that's my y. All right, so write a slope-intercept form equation. Well, I can't really write a slope-intercept yet, but I can do a point slope because I know my slope and then I know my point. So 82.50 and 225. Okay. I have to do 0.10 times 225 and we get 22.5. Excuse me. And to get the y by itself, I add the 82.50 to both sides. And we do that, we get y equals 0.10x plus 60. So that's my equation. And how much would Roberto have been charged if he drove 300 miles? Well, that's my x. So that means I'm trying to find my y. So go ahead and pause the video and do that on your own. Good luck. Okay, you should have gotten your final answer of $90. Okay, so number 10. The first thing that I notice is there are 4 numbers. Okay, so that means they gave us 2 points. So x is going to be my cars, and once again, this is going to be my cost or base salary, commission. That's going to be my paycheck, my total money. Okay, But if they gave us 2 points and we have to write the equation, that means you guys have to do find the slope. So first we find the slope, and then we can go into point slope to solve it. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys do that on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and you should have gotten y equals 275x plus 450. All right, C. How many cars would she have to sell in order to earn $2,650? Well, we don't know the x, but we know that y is 2,650. So I'm going to take that, and then I need to solve. Okay, so when I'm solving, I'm going to subtract the 450 to both sides, and we get 2,200 equals 275x. I'm going to divide by 275 to both sides, and we get that 8 equals x. And just remember, no naked numbers. We have to say what that is. And they asked how many cars. All right, almost done. Find the average rate of change over the function of the interval -3, 7, and our 2 points, 3, 6, and 7, 2. So remember, we're doing change of y over change in x. We would write those down as points. Okay, and then we're just going to, do the slope. Okay, -2 minus 6, and then 7 minus -3, which turns to plus. -2 minus 6 is -8. 7 plus 3 is 10, and then we always want to reduce, so that's going to be -4/5. Okay. So number 14 with the Calcs R Us table. What I want you guys to do is to make sure you have your graphing calculators. We need to make sure you hit second y equals, that your plot's on, okay? When you go to stat enter, that all of your lists are cleared out, okay? And then you're going to input all of that data. So we've got 10, 2, 5, 6, 8, 3, 15, okay? And then we have 50.3, we have 37, 41.7, 43.6, 47, 38.9, and 58. Okay, so to graph that, my x min, the smallest number I see is 2, so I'm just going to put 0. And my biggest is 15, so I'm just going to go a couple higher than that, which is 20. My y min, the lowest number I see is 37, so I'm just going to go to 34. And my highest number is 58, so I'm just going to go to 61. I want to go a little bit higher so I can see all of that. So when I graph that, that's what I get. Now, sorry, I had another line in there. Let's get rid of that. So there we go. Okay, now what does that tell me about my equation? Okay, well, we're talking about years employed and salary. So if, I don't want to say the correlation is positive and strong. It is, okay? But in the context of the problem, okay, what's going on is that as years increase, as the years of the employee works there increases, the amount of money they make increases, okay? And now looking at the equation, I'm going to go to Calc line reg ax plus b, go down to calculate, and then we get y equals, we're going to round to the nearest 100, y equals 1.62 x. So y equals 1.62 x plus, the other number was 33.88. Okay, so for B, did they tell us the X or the Y? Well, they said how long if they worked there for 20 years, and years is our X. Okay, so Y equals 1.62 times X plus 33.88. Go ahead and pause the video and solve. Okay, and I got Y equals 66.28. Okay, but remember they're talking about that in thousands, so that's really saying that they would make $66,280. Okay, all right, last one. Round to the nearest year. Okay, so I know that I don't know the years, but I do know that Y is 75,000. And we just got to remember that we want that as 75. Okay, so 75 equals 1.62x plus 33.88. Go ahead and pause the video and solve that all on your own. Okay, and we get 25.38 equals x, and rounding that to the nearest year, 25.3, the 3 actually tells me to stay the same, so that's right around 25 years. All right, guys, well, that's it for Algebra 2, Unit 1 review. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.